What is up, bros and broettes? I am Inkslasher, and welcome to another episode of Versus. Versus is a series where we put two weapons head to head to see which one is better and make you a better Call of Duty player. Now, today is a special episode because not only do we have a brand new weapon to look at, the brand new Peacekeeper Mark II, we also are comparing it against another DLC weapon, the FFAR. Now, this is going to be a very good comparison. They have very similar stats, yet at the same time, very different stats. And you'll see exactly what I mean throughout looking at this. But it's very rare that I get to compare two DLC, supply drop, black market weapons, whatever you want to call them. It's rare, and I'm really looking forward to getting into it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. And if you like what you see, it would be fantastic if you could give that like button just a little bit of fondling if you like what you see. So without further ado, let's get into it, guys. So let's get started by looking at the damage profile, like always. So the damage profile for both of these weapons is exactly the same, at 30 damage up close, 29 at mid-range, and 22 at long range. And for both weapons, the ranges of these damage drop-offs are exactly the same. No difference between the two of them. So in other words, the damage profiles are exactly the same, and we can't give out any points based on that. And just for a little side bit of knowledge, the HVK-30 and the ICR-1 both have the exact same damage as these two weapons, and the exact same ranges as well. So HVK, ICR-1, FFAR, and Peacekeeper Mark II all have the exact same damage profiles. So when I said at the beginning of the video that these weapons are very similar, this is what I'm talking about. The exact same damage profile, obviously one of the most important stats in the game, exactly the same. Now we get into the differences between the two weapons. That difference is the fire rate. Now the fire rate on the Peacekeeper is 652 RPM, whereas the FFAR's is 800. That is a massive difference. That's a 150 RPM difference, and that is huge for two weapons that have the exact same damage profile. So that's a pretty damn big deal. So for that, the FFAR is going to start off the scoring, get +1 point, and take the lead. Now, not only does this mean that there is just the fire rate that is better for the FFAR, this also means since both of these weapons have the exact same damage profile at any single range, it means that anywhere on the map, the FFAR is going to have a faster time to kill. Whether you are 2 feet away or 90 feet away from each other, the damage profile is going to be the exact same, and the fire rate's going to be better on the FFAR, which means the time to kill, no matter what, is better on the FFAR. And that is a massive, huge, monstrous deal. This is a fantastic stat for the FFAR that it has, that the time to kill is so damn good. So for that, the FFAR is going to get +1 more point and extend that lead to 2. The next thing we can actually look at is the magazine size, and the magazine size for the Peacekeeper is 32 rounds, and the magazine size for the FFAR is 30 rounds. Now, I don't believe that this is a big enough deal to give out points for the Peacekeeper, but something that is big enough to give out points for is something I haven't heard anybody talk about, and it's the movement speed for the Peacekeeper. So normally for all assault rifles, the movement speed while aiming down sights is 40% of your normal move speed. However, for the Peacekeeper Mark II, it's 60% of your normal move speed, and what this means is there's almost a built-in stock attachment on the Peacekeeper compared to any other assault rifle. And for that, that's an amazing stat. It means you're going to be able to outstrafe anyone who is just using any old assault rifle, whether it's the KN-44 or whether it's the FFAR. You're going to be able to outstrafe your enemies, and that's a big damn deal. So for that, the Peacekeeper is going to get +1 point. Next up, we got reload speed, and the reload speed for the Peacekeeper is actually pretty damn good at 2.03 seconds with a full magazine or bullet still in the magazine, and with an empty magazine, 2.8 seconds. If we look at the FFAR, it's 2.5 seconds with bullets still in the magazine and 3.2 seconds with an empty magazine. So obviously this is much better for the Peacekeeper, therefore giving it +1 point and tying it up. The next thing we have to look at is the aim down sights time, and the aim down sights time for the Peacekeeper is 0.225 seconds, which guess what is the best not only out of these two weapons but out of the entire assault rifle class. The Peacekeeper has the fastest aim down sights time out of any AR in Black Ops 3. So the time for the Peacekeeper is 0.225 seconds, and the time for the FFAR is 0.25 seconds. Now, this isn't a massive deal, it's only 0.025 seconds, but that's going to be a big deal. When you're aiming down sights all the time with both of these weapons, you're going to notice that difference, and that's definitely a thing to note between the two weapons. So for that, the Peacekeeper gets +1 point and takes the lead for the first time in this video. There's one thing that I've never heard anyone talk about for the FFAR that we're going to talk about in this video, and it's idle sway. And if you don't know what idle sway is, it's when you're aiming down sights, it's the amount that your reticle just kind of moves around. Now, normally for assault rifles, this can range anywhere from 5 in-game units to 30 in-game units, which is pretty decent. but for the FFAR, it only moves 2 in-game units. To give you an idea, when you're crouched with an assault rifle, the idle sway goes down to 1. So running around with the FFAR, you almost have the idle sway as if you're crouched with any other assault rifle. And no other assault rifle is like that. The closest one is the ICR-1, but even that is not the same idle sway as the FFAR. So for that, the FFAR is going to get plus 1 point. By the way, the Peacekeeper's idle sway is 10 in-game units, the FFAR's is 2. So that's a pretty damn big difference. So the FFAR gets plus 1 point for that and ties it up. So we have one stat left to talk about, and that is view kick, recoil, whatever you want to call it, and the Peacekeeper has next to no recoil. This thing is so goddamn accurate, it's just like the ICR-1. The ICR-1 and the Peacekeeper are almost identical weapons. It's really insane how similar they are. So if this was a week ago, I would actually just stop it here and give the win to the Peacekeeper. But it's not a week ago, and the FFAR got a buff last week in which it has less recoil or more stability. And this is an incredibly big deal because now we have to look at its view kick compared to the Peacekeeper's. Now, to be completely honest with you, the Peacekeeper's is much better. However, the fact that the FFAR has a better time to kill by a good margin at every single range in the game is also a massive deal. So I don't know how to give this one. I don't know who to give the win to. So here's what I have to say. So I'm going to have to give the win to the better overall assault rifle, which is the better overall weapon, and that is the FFAR, for the mere fact that it has a better time to kill at every single range. And on top of that, with the most recent patch, the recoil on the FFAR is actually pretty damn controllable. So let me explain it like this. The Kuda is a more accurate weapon than the VMP. However, the VMP has a faster fire rate and a faster time to kill because of it. Therefore, you see a lot of professional Call of Duty players playing with the VMP. Why? Because it has a faster time to kill and it's going to drop people better. It may be harder to control, but on top of that, you're going to be dropping players a lot faster. So if you're a better player and able to control that little bit of extra recoil, it's going to be easier to kill people with something that has a better time to kill, aka the FFAR. Now, on top of this, there is this threshold where the view kick can be too much to control and therefore makes the weapon bad. For example, this happened to the Vesper. The Vesper had the best time to kill, better than the VMP, but they nerfed the recoil so damn hard that it was a useless weapon. Now that they buffed the FFAR's recoil so that it's really controllable, it just happens to be better than the Peacekeeper. But that's just what I think. You can let me know down in the comment section below. But as for me, this week, I'm gonna have to give the win to the FFAR. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw today, and if you did, it would be fantastic if you could leave a like rating on this video. On top of that, if you're new to the channel, it'd be fantastic if you could hit that subscribe button down below. I upload new Call of Duty videos every single day of the week, whether it be news, tips and tricks, or Easter eggs and things you didn't know. Every single day of the week you get a brand new video. So if that sounds like something that interests you, that subscribe button is sitting there with your name on it down below. But if you like what you saw, you can check out my Twitch or Twitter down in the description. I also have a second channel where I do Let's Plays and vlogs. All the links for that is in the description. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love every single one of you guys. And until next time, peace out.